Hey, welcome back to the Personal Transformation Podcast. My name is Dan Storey, author of Personal Transformation Blueprint. And in this conversation, I want to talk about a question I get asked a lot, which is what area of my life should I aim for in transformation? Should I do a fitness transformation? Should I change my career? Should I end a relationship, start a relationship? Should I move to a different country? What should be my transformation? And in this episode, I just want to go through some of the thought processes that you should consider before choosing your transformation goal and what you're going to focus on for, say, a 3-month period. Okay, so there's a few factors that go into that, and we're going to explore those now. I guess the first one to think about is, and this is in the book, right? Is your dissatisfaction in life. So we talk about getting dissatisfied as the starting point, right? We've all got frustrations in life, we've all got challenges, areas of our lives where we're not so happy about it, right? We tend to play those down, we tend to soften them up as, it's not as bad, or it's not as bad as so-and-so that I know, or it could be worse. So it's really harnessing that dissatisfaction without it getting to a point where it burns us up, where we get angry and frustrated, because that energy isn't useful, right? That energy is just distracting, destructive, and it's not going to get us to move forward. It's just going to get us to go around in circles and kind of get progressively more and more angry. But we do want to be dissatisfied, but we've also got to hold that at the same time with this idea of gratitude, like that we've actually got some good things in our life. We're in a very fortunate position, often in this trap of average, right? We've created for ourselves, we've got some level of success, but we've also not got this entire feeling of satisfaction and happiness. So we want to get dissatisfied. We want to focus on that long enough that it creates a desire for change, but not so much that it just burns us up with frustration. Okay, so let's think about that. So is your dissatisfaction, is it general or specific? Okay, so if you think about the way your life is structured now, think about how everything is. Do you have a general overall dissatisfaction with your life, or is there a specific area that you say, right, actually, this is the key thing that I need to focus on? Okay, let's take the specific one because often that's quite easy, right? So let's take the specific area. No, Dan, there is one specific thing in my life that I need to turn around, and if I turn this around, and everything else is going to get better. Okay, really easy. I think you've just answered your own question. Okay, so if you have that kind of one problem area, then go and deal with it. I mean, how long have you been thinking about it? How long have you been talking about it? How long have you been saying to yourself, I should really go and sort this out? Okay, well, if you're looking for a sign, this is it. Hello, go and do it. Go and do it now. You have my blessing, or whatever it is you need to get going. Okay. For some of us, that's really obvious. Many of us look in the mirror and we're just like, oh my goodness, my relationship is good, my work is good, I have a happy life outside of here, family, all of that kind of stuff is really good. But when I look in the mirror, that's not the kind of person I want to see. Or I've got these health conditions that are generally shortening my life, and I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to get to 60, 70 and not be able to enjoy life. I want to do something with my body now. Okay, so maybe you've got that. Maybe you're in a relationship that isn't as satisfactory as it once was, right? And maybe you think, okay, well, I need to rekindle this. I need to reinvest into this. Or maybe you don't have a relationship, and actually that's something you need to address, whether you need to deal with your own challenges and own identity so that you can find somebody, or, maybe you just need to go out and meet more people and be more confident, or whatever it is. Okay, maybe it's a relationship. And in the book, we really talk about 8 different areas. So I'll just kind of read these to you because I haven't memorized them. But first one is health and energy. So we've talked about that. It's a $4 trillion a year industry, the health and wellness space. So lots of people looking to make changes in that area. Business and career is a big one as well. A lot of people express dissatisfaction with the work. I think the satisfaction polls suggest around 75% of the population don't like their job. 50% of those are pretty, quiet grumblers. 25% of those are pretty actively saying, I really hate my job. So if it's a career change that you want, then go and do something that's more in line with what you feel called to, or find more meaningful, or something along those lines. If it's love and relationships, create that space for love and relationships in your life, either by, finding somebody new if you don't have anybody, or kind of dealing with the existing relationship situations you've got. Finances and wealth, this is a big one. Many people either don't have enough money or don't use it well. Maybe they're spending too much money. Maybe they're not earning enough money. So thinking about how you deal with that. Social life and connection, this is probably one of the biggest challenges in the world that we see these days, is that social isolation is becoming a major problem. And actually, this is causing general dissatisfaction across life. A lot of people now work remotely, work from home, and so we don't have that social engagement that we used to have in the workplace. And so we just end up on Zoom, getting frustrated, and then turning around and nobody's there, right? Maybe you've got a pot plant that you have to look at. Maybe your family live too far away that you get to speak to them. Maybe it's just a quick WhatsApp call or something. So go out and find clubs, find ways to meet people. It's not easy, especially as you get older in life, to create social connections, but it's worth it, right? Social connection is a huge part of success. Maybe it's creativity and expression. Maybe you're not doing that thing that you feel that you're called to do. Maybe you're a frustrated artist that isn't making art or music or writing or whatever it is that you feel compelled to do. Maybe you're not doing it. Maybe there's a lack of confidence. Maybe there's a lack of feeling that you can market it and profit from it. You don't have to always profit from things. It's oftentimes the expression comes before that. Okay. Maybe it's adventure and experiences. Maybe you've just kind of got stuck in this hamster wheel and you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Maybe you need to watch Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I would highly recommend that, to just challenge yourself, just think differently. Like, how could I say yes to more things and more experiences? One of the experiences I've had recently is I moved from England to Czech Republic to Prague with my wife. My wife went back to work. And my daughter is now full-time in school in Czech Republic. It's amazing because now she has an entire language I don't understand anywhere near enough of. But the experiences we've been able to give her by moving to a different country have just been phenomenal. Different culture, different language. Her relationship with her family is just superior. But we've also been able to give her major experiences with regards to sport and activities and things that we probably just wouldn't get where we were living in England. So that's it. So just try and find a way to say yes. Find a way to say yes more and create more adventure and experiences. Life is about creating moments that we remember, right? That's what life is about. So say yes more and try and find a way to do that. In fact, I was listening to a podcast this morning with Elizabeth Dunn, the happiness researcher, and it's about how we spend our money. We should use our money to create moments and experiences. Just as an aside, check that podcast out or that TED Talk for sure. The last one then is environment and surroundings. So our environment, our context plays a massive part in our happiness, right? We could, be living in an inner city, working from home, never getting out, never doing anything adventurous. We could literally stay in a very small apartment block without seeing sunlight for a very long time, and that will have a detrimental impact. So change, like go out, go somewhere, like find a different environment is more stimulating. Is it outdoors for you? Is it in nature? Is it actually you want to move from nature to the big city? Maybe there's that kind of cool, that dynamic energy that the city has that you miss. And maybe you're stuck in some kind of little tiny apartment by the sea, which is great if you're going to retire, but maybe it's not quite time yet to be in that retirement space. So think about that. Think about how your environment plays a big part. And each of those could be their own transformation, right? Each of those could be a worthwhile challenge. You could change your career in 3 months. You may not be able to get right to the top of it, but you could at least start on another path. You can create a significant amount of adventure in a month. I'm in the center of Europe. There are so many countries around here. I could go and check out lots of different countries. The world is getting smaller. Flights are getting cheaper. Go and have an adventure, jump on a train, do anything. Just or even go micro and explore every nook and cranny of the city that you live in. I guarantee you live in a city, people come and visit you and they say, "Oh, we should go and do this." Like, I've never done that. I've lived here 20 years. It's mad. So go and do the things, have more adventures, whatever it is. If it's a specific area of challenge in your life, then tackle that, right? Tackle that. And you'll find that as you do that, if there's a one problem area, then you'll find that ripples into so many of your areas in life as well. Okay, so that's easy. If it's a specific challenge, a specific issue that you've got, go and tackle it, right? Don't put it off anymore. Start on something, do something, start today, figure out where you want to get to, set yourself a little challenge. What does good look like? And then let's push on that for 3 months. Okay, so what about if your situation is a little bit more general? Okay, what about if you're generally dissatisfied in life? Well, in this case, I guess any improvement you make is going to be useful. But typically, I find there's one area that if you tackle that, it's going to have a bigger impact and be the first domino. So if you imagine that you kind of make this change and it leads to another change, leads to another change, there's a ripple effect as you go through your life. Okay, so let's think about what some of those could be. Um, One of the key ones for that is often financial. Financial goals are kind of a limitation for many people. So we talked already about adventure being a case, I buy a flight. Sounds really easy. I can go buy a flight, but what if I don't have money to go and do those things? Yeah, I want adventure, Dan. I want to be able to live in an amazing place. I want the environment, but I make no money. All right, then that's maybe the first point. Okay, is we can want all of those things, but unless we have the means and mechanisms to do those things, then I'm never going to get there. So think about that. Is that your lead domino? And you say, okay, well, yeah, Dan, I want adventure and I've got loads of money, but you know what? I'm exhausted all the time. I just can't do it. Just can't. Family want to go on holiday and want to go exploring somewhere, but I take 50 meters of walking and I'm dead. Like that's it. I can't go any further. Well, then you know what your answer is, right? You need to then think about, okay, well, what is the restricting factor that's holding you back from all these other experiences? In this case, it would be some kind of health goal, right? You need to deal with your health, whatever that challenge is that's stopping you from moving and being able to do those things. Go and tackle that. Okay. So if it's specific, the area, go and do it. All right. There's a chance you've been holding yourself back. So time to let go of excuses, time to give yourself permission. Let's go and do it. Okay. And read the book, take the model from the book, understand there's going to be a gap. You're not going to feel like doing it, but you've got to show up, you've got to put the discipline in, you've got to continually do the things that your new avatar would do. Okay. And show up. If it's a general dissatisfaction, then identify the area that you think will be the lead domino. Okay, what's the first thing that actually, if I deal with this, then it's going to make the biggest impact. Okay, so there's those two aspects. And again, we use the NPS idea in the book, which is, if you were to rate your life or each of these areas on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give yourself? Okay, and in NPS, it's like 0 to 6, that's a detractor, right? Anything lower than 6 in life, like a satisfaction score, you're seen as a detractor. You don't have anything good to say. In fact, you're going to poo-poo your life. You're going to tell people, oh, my life sucks, to anybody who will listen. 7 or 8, which might seem pretty good or at least average, is actually just seen as neutral, right? If you're a consumer of a business or a customer of a business, you give a score of 7 out of 8, that means you don't have anything good or bad to say. So it's like meh. It's like in the middle. It's average. And I don't know about you, but we shouldn't be aiming for a meh life. We shouldn't be aiming for an average life. We want to have, maybe not all the time, but we want to have experiences that are definitely a 9 and 10 on the scale, right? Because 9 to 10 is we're pro. We're absolutely we're positive about our life and we're really happy about it. We're a promoter for what we'd say, oh, my life is amazing. You should have my life. All right. That's where we want to be. Maybe not all the time, but at least on a regular occasion, we should experience this 9 or 10 element. So think about that. Okay. The other thing that I want to talk about just before you choose. All right. So this sounds really easy, right? This sounds really easy. If I've got a specific area, choose specific. If I've got the general area, then choose the one that is going to be the lead domino. All right. Easy. Here's the tough question. Here's the challenge. Right, here's the challenge. Because emotion comes into it and fear comes into it and tension comes into it, is when you look at the opportunity to create a transformation in your life, you have two choices, right? And whether you know or not, it's not general specific, it's slightly different to that. It's easy or it's worthwhile. Right? It's easy or it's worthwhile. Stay with me for this. Okay. Many people will have multiple challenges in life. This might be you, right? You might have multiple challenges in life. Some of them are easy to fix. Some of them are worthwhile to fix. Okay. An easy fix is fitness, which is why there are so many fitness transformation coaches out there, because it's one of those ones where if I do something about my life from a fitness perspective, then it has ripple effects, right? I feel better, I look better, I can do more things, I'm generally happier in my fitness. Also, it's very controllable. I can do all of this myself, or at least with the partner of a gym and some good food. I don't have to worry about anything else. It's purely me, the mirror, scales, the gym, all of those aspects. There's nothing wrong with taking on a fitness challenge. It's absolutely, I've done it myself, and I went from dad bod. Have you seen the transformation I did? I went from dad bod to being on stage with some of the best athletes in Europe from a bodybuilding perspective. It's extremely valuable. I learned a lot about myself in that journey. Okay, I learned that I do have discipline, that I can persist, that I have strength inside of me that I didn't realize I had. There's a huge amount of benefit that comes from doing something like a fitness challenge. But it's also easy. It's very superficial. It's literally just the body and the extra stuff that we've got around the body that we don't really need. Okay. So that's that. That's the easy one. The worthwhile side is the stuff that is probably a little bit more emotionally charged. The bits that I'm talking about, right? Is there are areas in your life that you really want to transform, but you're kind of scared about it. Yeah, you're scared. Not because, the other side is something unknown, but because this actually genuinely means something. Yeah, fitness means something. It means that you're going to be far healthier and hopefully live a little bit longer and a better quality of life. But let's take career. To change your career is huge, especially when you've been putting, let's say, 10, 15, 20 years into something, but you're not happy. This is big, right? To make a change, it basically says, look, everything that I've done up until now was wrong. It's not. You've got to be able to connect the dots to the next level. But that's a big change. That's a big change. Now, if you do it and you find something more meaningful on the other side in terms of work that you want to do and actually fulfills you for the rest of your life, that's worthwhile, right? That change is worthwhile. But that transition is big, right? It's big. It's probably bigger than a 3-month transition, right? You might get some momentum in a 3-month transformation challenge, but you may not cross that entire gap. Or maybe it's your relationship. Maybe you want to fix your relationship or something not working with your significant other. That's worthwhile. Fixing something like that or reinvesting your time and energy into something like that to get better results is worthwhile. But there's a ton of energy behind that you've been on a journey in a roller coaster. I don't know where you are on that roller coaster, but this is worthwhile to fix, whether you go to where you go. And so the emotional energy attached to that transformation could be scary, right? There's high consequences, a high stake game. Okay. Maybe you want to move. Maybe you want to go to a country that you've never been to. This is your dream, but you're like, I don't know about it. It's high stakes. You're going to be moved. This is almost all in, right? You're going to go. You can come back, but this is a big move, all right? And so it can be filled with apprehension, and it's easy to put things off like that. When there's high stakes, when there's high consequence, it's easy to delay something like that. And so maybe you find yourself turning to, say, a fitness challenge because it's easier. So the question is it easy or worthwhile? That's all I'm going to say. Now, like I said, if you want, start with the easy one. Start with the easy one. Do 3 months. 3 months is nothing. In the grand scheme of life, 3 months is nothing. Do a 3-month fitness challenge or creativity challenge or something that is a little bit more superficial, and teach yourself that you have the talents, the traits, the personality, the mindset that you can persist and create change in your life. And once you've proven that to yourself, if that's what you needed, then refocus and say, okay, well, actually now I'm going to focus on this area. And this is more worthwhile. It's harder. It's going to be even bigger. I'm going to need to draw on all of those traits that I have built from my other transformation. I know I'm going to need to apply them here because the same model applies. But now I'm ready. Okay, so we went a little deep there. Transformation challenges. This is the thing, right? We are literally rewiring our entire body, our entire mindset to say, this is where we are, not happy here. This is where I want to be. I have an idea that things are going to be better here. There's a gap. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to cross it, but I'm going to put the effort in and I'm going to make sure I get there. And I'm going to keep showing up and being disciplined until I do. Change is worth it. Progress is worth it. We want to evolve as people as we go through our lives. So we're constantly experiencing the next level of our potential. Okay. Some of that is easy. Some of that is worthwhile. I'll let you be the decider of your fate. That sounds a bit ominous, but at least choose the challenge, choose the transformation challenge that is right for you in this moment. And whether it's the first one or it's the one that you really want to tackle, then make that choice wisely. Okay. But always remember that you can do another challenge. You can do another challenge. And, it's a game, right? It's a game. And just like, if you kind of go back just quickly, when I was a kid, I used to read those choose your own adventure books. Do you remember that? It's like, you want to battle the orc, do you take out your knife, go to page 7, or do you, cast a magic spell, you go to page 427? At the end of the day, it's just a game, right? Then we can go back and do things, and we can laugh off an experience. We're going to make good decisions. We're going to make bad decisions. With transformation, with evolvement, with growth, you're just about exploring more of life. So whatever you choose, I wish you very best of luck. Hopefully, the Personal Transformation Blueprint book will serve as a good tool, but hopefully this has given you some guidance into which of the transformation challenges you should choose yourself. Good luck.